Welcome to another Tech Fit. You caught me on the way to my mat for my workout tonight, but there was big news dropped, and I wanted to grab this real quick and talk about it. If you follow technology and gaming, you know that one of the biggest systems in history is the Nintendo Switch. In 2017, the first Nintendo Switch launched, which is this guy right here, if you're not familiar, and it took a year or so, but it really took off. And for the last few years, the complaints have been that the Nintendo Switch isn't strong enough for the software that's coming out. Even Nintendo games don't run well on it. What are we going to do? Well, Nintendo finally, after 8 years, revealed a very short preview of the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, there's footage all over the internet. Nintendo has their little teaser trailer on the website and on their YouTube. I encourage you, go watch it, take a look, see what it looks like. The design is roughly the same as what they had before. Still a mobile tablet, removable Joy-Cons. There were a few upgrades. Now, they didn't talk about the performance upgrades. They didn't talk about what's called the SoC, the system on a chip. We still don't know those details. We only saw what it looks like and got a little preview of a few of the features. A few things that I liked about it, as you notice, right here is the power connector on the original Switch. And while this is great for the dock, it's not as good for accessories. So the Nintendo Switch 2 also has a USB-C connection on the top. And likely this is going to be for various attachments and doohickeys that Nintendo likes to put out. One of the other little things that I noticed that I was excited for, the kickstand on this guy, if I can get it open, there we go, it's not the best. If you rock this thing a little, it falls right over. The kickstand on the new Switch 2 actually is a bar down here with connections here. So it's a lot more stable. Big upgrade. It's one of those, why didn't they do this the first time? Now, this is the original Nintendo Switch. There was an OLED model which came out a few years ago. It does have a better kickstand. I just never felt the need to upgrade. This guy has always been good for me, and this is a day one Switch. When I was living in New York is when this one launched. Somehow I managed to get it to my apartment, and from there, it was a love obsession for at least 5 years. That being said, I'm not as excited for the Switch 2. I thought it would be, because it's a Nintendo system. It's an upgrade to what we have. I just don't feel myself jumping off the couch to pre-order one. And one of the biggest reasons is, in the last few years, since Valve, who primarily does computer games and runs the store that sells a majority of PC games, they released the Steam Deck a few years back. And since then, we've had an explosion of PC handhelds. Now, one of the neat things about the Switch, when it launched, it came with the greatest Zelda game of all time, Breath of the Wild, but there weren't a lot of other games for it. However, one of the games that captured everyone's attention during the initial trailer was Skyrim, which is a fantastic game, and it had been trapped on consoles and PCs for 6 years at that point. And all of a sudden, you're finding out you can play it on a handheld device, which was awesome. And I think a large part of the Switch's success, at least with the adult audience, was the ability to take games on the road. There are numerous games that I have on this guy, either in a cartridge or digitally downloaded, that were double dips. I had them on either Xbox or PC, and I bought them on here as well because I could take it with me. But now, with those portable handheld gaming PCs, that feature is not quite the selling point it used to be. So I really think that Nintendo is going to have to just knock it out of the park with launch titles, which we don't know any of the launch titles yet. They showed off a preview of a Mario Kart level that we've never seen before. So one could assume Mario Kart 9 is finally coming. And for what it's worth, Mario Kart 8 launched on the Wii U, which was a Nintendo system before the Switch. They just kind of got a lot of mileage out of that one when they ported it over. But it's a great game. So Mario Kart 9 might be a great game too. I guess we'll see. Or whatever it ends up being called if it's not 9. One other thing that they showed off, and this leaked on the internet. This is one of the worst kept secrets in the history of gaming. The Joy-Cons on here are on a rail system. You have to make sure you slide it right in, click it in place. And sometimes, especially if you're in a darker room, it's not as easy to do. The new one they showed in the trailer has a magnetic attachment. There is a port, and then on the side, the Joy-Con clicks into place. They also showed off a Joy-Con attachment that looks like it might work like a mouse. Again, we don't know yet. They just showed off a few quick features. They did also say that for compatibility, it will work with Nintendo Switch downloads. It will work on the Switch 2, as well as the Switch cartridges will work on there. Definitely a good thing. One of the reasons I prefer Xbox as my primary console is because of their backwards compatibility. I can play games from 20 years ago on that thing. When the Switch came out, they switched to this new cartridge format, which they're the only people that use it. And, well, if you had a Wii and a Wii U, those games no longer were going to work. So it's always a good thing to hear Nintendo supporting backwards compatibility, especially as digital libraries are becoming more and more prevalent with gaming. But, yeah, that's all we know. They did say that on April 4th, they're going to release more information about the system. They're doing a few demonstrations in some large cities around the world, and it's going to launch sometime in 2025. So I guess we'll see more. But just based on the quick info that we've seen so far, what do you think? Are you getting one? Day one? Are you going to wait? Like I said, I'm not jumping off the couch. I'm going to wait and see. If they got some really banger first-party titles, like Metroid 4, which we still don't have, Metroid Prime 4, that might be something to consider. But that's all I got for this Tech Fit, a very quick one. Like I said, I had to get my fit on, so I'm doing that now. I just wanted to get something out there. There is the movie episode in the works. All the gaming footage is recorded. That's what takes the longest. Now I just need to record the me blabbering on about Batman Returns. So that should be up soon. And as more tech news comes out, you'll get more Tech Fits. See you next time.